Foothill Ranch lifestyle program, and today we are doing a cooking demonstration on alternatives to pasta. So I hope you guys are all joining. It's a beautiful Friday, and so we are talking about alternatives to pasta. So this comes up a lot when patients may have a goal to get healthier, may want to improve their blood sugars. Maybe they are on the verge of maybe getting diabetes and really trying to improve their blood sugars. And it could be someone who's going gluten-free for various reasons. So they're looking for alternatives to one of our favorite foods, is pasta. So I thought it would be a great food demonstration to show you a few options that are delicious, great for your health, giving us lots of nutrients. So these are nutrient-dense vegetables with a lot of nutrition. So they're going to give us fiber, lots of vitamins and minerals, vitamin C, magnesium, potassium, antioxidants, help fight cancer, help our digestive tract, our eyes, vitamin A, bone health as well. So when we are adding vegetables to our diet, we're going to be eating nutrient-dense foods versus a pasta that is just the source of carbohydrates without the fiber, vitamins, and minerals. And I'm going to also talk a little bit about, at the end, about some pastas that are out there on the shelves that you may have seen. So I will speak about those as well. So my first vegetable we're going to talk about today is our lovely winter spaghetti squash. So you will see these in the store all year round, but they are summer and a fall vegetable actually, and winter. So this is actually a small one. They're usually quite large, but this is what I found in the store right now. So this was probably picked a little early. So I want to show you how you can cut this, because it's a very thick peel. You don't eat that at all. And how to prep this, and different ways that you can use the spaghetti squash to replace your pasta dishes. So the spaghetti squash can be used in many ways. It could be just a pasta dish. You can also use it in casseroles. You can use it as a side. 1 cup of spaghetti squash is about like 70 calories, so it's very low in calories. So it does help when patients are looking to reduce some carbohydrates in their diet, to replace the pasta with a vegetable source. So let me show you how to prep this. So we're in the kitchen, get cardboard. Being very careful with this, because you can slip your knife. So when you pick this in the grocery store, first of all, you want to pick one that's very hard, no moldy or soft spots at all. So just make sure it's very hard. Okay, so given that it's very hard to cut as well. So you do want a sharp knife, but be very careful. If you want to make it a little bit easy for yourself, you can poke it with holes with a fork actually. And then stick it in the microwave for about a minute or two, and it will soften the peel up, so it's a little bit easier to cut. So since I've cut many of these, I'm just going to show you now. So when you cut it long ways, you're going to get long strands. So that's why it's called spaghetti squash, because it does come out like long strands. So you can see how tough it is. Okay, so this is the long way. You can also cut it this way as well. A lot of people will cut it this way when they want to put it in their Instapot. So it cuts it, and then you have 2 smaller pieces. So the strands will not be long, a little bit shorter. But it's just personal preference how you cut it and how you want to cook it. So there's a variety of ways that you can cook this. One I just mentioned is the Instapot pressure cooker. It's very quick. So if you don't have about 45 minutes to an hour for the oven, you would want to do that. You could also put this in the microwave to cook. So I'm going to speak a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to cook this in the oven, since it's just a very common way of cooking. So when you cut it open, I'm going to show you. So you'll see that there's some seeds here and some hairs. So we're going to remove that actually. So you don't want to cook that part. And let's see, should be using a fork, but I'm going to use this knife just to cut a little bit here so you can loosen it up. And these seeds, you can actually roast them. They're very high in protein. They look like a pumpkin seed. That's what it reminds me of. So you remove the hair, sort of similar to a pumpkin. So you can see that. So you would just take out your seeds there, and you can roast them on low heat in the oven if you wanted. Okay, so you can see it's hollowed out. So I'm going to do the same with the second one. So you could be preheating your oven. I do like 400, and so it takes about 45 minutes. You can also do it at 350. 45 minutes to an hour. You do want to watch it. But it is done when you can poke on the outside and your fork goes through it. It's soft. So both sides are scooped out. The seeds and the little hairs are out, as you can see. So you would put this on a baking sheet, and I have parsnip paper on it for easy cleanup. So you can spray it with olive oil, put salt and pepper if you like. Don't have that today, but you can do that, and you just put it face down. Okay. Okay. So, and actually when they're small like this, it might not take 45 minutes. So depending on the size, just watch it. The larger ones do take a little bit more time. Okay. So these are going to go in the oven. So the oven is either at 350 or 400. Okay. So this is going to go in the oven. And now I'm going to show you what they look like when they come out. This is the beauty of YouTube. Okay, so I just pulled this out of the oven, so let me show you. So you would poke it with your fork and see that it's soft. And this is what they look like. Okay, those are cooked. And then you would take a fork and you would get the strands out. And look what I packed today. I got 2 spoons. So we're going to just use a spoon, and I want to show you the strands. So this is a small one. So the spaghetti squash is not so long. You can see. So it's strands. So you just scoop it out. You can also just eat it right out of here. You can also add your toppings and just eat it right out of here. And we'll talk a little bit what you can do with this to make a meal and what you can add onto it. So if you're using this to make like a marinara, like a spaghetti with marinara, and maybe some turkey meat or whatever protein you're using. So this would be just like a basic spaghetti dish. So again, you're just going to scoop out the spaghetti, and unfortunately this one is a small spaghetti squash, so that, like I said, the strands are not that long, but you can see it's a stringy type of vegetable. So it's a little stringy, nutty in flavor, very mild. Okay, so it's a very versatile vegetable because it's so mild. So you could do like a pesto topping if you like, with some cheese, with chicken. You can do, like I said, the red sauce. So really quick, you can get your red sauce out. You can saute some mushrooms, If you want to use real, just, fresh cherry tomatoes, you want to add some fresh basil. Just really easy, simple. So that you would use this for your spaghetti, and again, those would be your toppings, okay? Another way this is very popular is making it more of a Mexican style. So that would be more like with black beans, maybe some guacamole on top, a little cheese. So what you can do before it's completely cooked in the oven, you can top it with like the black beans and the cheese, so all that cooks and melts on top. So you can do that as well. So two different ways you can do it if you wanted to eat it out of there. So I'm just going to pull this out and show you what it is on the plate. So this little one is giving me about a cup here. Some people like to still make their regular pasta and then mix it with this when they're transitioning, trying to get rid of their pasta as much as possible, but this is completely delicious. You won't even miss the regular pasta when you eat this spaghetti squash. So let me show you here. Really close up to the camera so you can see that. Okay, right there. So you can see, again, the strands. Pretty short, but when you get a big spaghetti squash, a little bit longer. Okay. So this is cooked. You can roast your seeds if you want. You don't want to throw those away. We love our seeds, lots of nutrition and protein in those. And again, this can be made as the main dish. It could also be a side dish as a vegetable if you want. So it's very versatile. Any questions there I can answer? Let us know. So I'm going to put that there. So that would be your spaghetti squash. I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's see. Okay, so that's one vegetable that can be used to get a lot more nutrition, remove pasta that doesn't have the nutrition that we're looking for. So it's an easy replacement when you're trying to increase the nutrition in your diet, trying to improve your health, your blood sugars, maybe looking to shed a few pounds. Whatever the goal is, it's a great vegetable and very versatile. So I'm going to pull out now my second zucchini, right? Our summer squash. I'm going to show you how to use this in a zoodle form. One other thing I was going to mention about the spaghetti squash, like you can make it the Mexican style. You just pull out your black beans, rinse them off. You don't have to do fresh beans, but if you have fresh, you bought a lot of bags during the pandemic, use those up. Easy to make, soak overnight, and then cook them in a pot. And then you have beans for days. You can also freeze those if you make too many. That's a great way to add in some vegetarian protein and lots of fiber and nutrition. So, I'm going to talk now about our zucchini. It's available all year long. This was a huge one. So I'm going to show you how to do Zoodles. So you might have seen in the store that they're selling now Zoodles already ready to go, even with carrots. I've seen the carrot Zoodles. So I like to make them at home because I can get these at a very good price. And this is a little, it doesn't cost very much at all, little Zoodle machine here by Cuisinart. Might have been like $19 on Amazon. So I'm going to show you this up close. So inside here is the blades. There's a few ways that it will cut thinner or thicker Zoodles. So I will show you. It's very simple. So Zoodles are another way to pull out some of the pasta and then add this in, or just use it as a side dish as well if you're trying to increase your vegetable intake in your diet. So when we're trying to reach like 7 to 11 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, we got to get creative, right? So that's the daily recommendation. So this, just using these vegetables a different way, or using vegetables you've never used before, is just a great way to be able to add in some more fiber and nutrition in your diet. So what you do with this machine, particularly, it just takes some small pieces of the zucchini. So I'm just gonna cut it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this. And you stick it in the machine like this. And I'm going to put it super close so you can see. And once this, you can see the Zoodles, right? It takes less than a minute to like stir fry them in the pan because it's super thin and super easy. So you can just stir fry this with some olive oil, garlic, onions, add some protein. You can also add beans, garbanzo beans, a little bit of feta cheese or Parmesan. You can also use it in a casserole, so it's very versatile as well. So at the end, you just get a little bit that's not really hitting the thing. Let's see. So again, these vegetables, high in antioxidants, fiber. 1 cup of the zucchini is 17 calories. I know I have my patients track their intake, and they're looking at their calories of their food. So that gives you an idea, only 17 calories per cup. So, gosh, you can eat of many cups. Not even worry about it, right? Just a lot of nutrition. So let's see, what does that look like on our plate? So that was a little piece of zucchini. You saw me cut it off here. It was about this much. Not a lot, right? And it created all this. So these are, I'll get you a long one. You can see these are Zoodles. These are pretty long. Whoa. So it's a fun way. Kids sometimes, if you serve them vegetables a different way, will be more into trying them. And if you don't like your zucchini just chopped like that, this is a great way. It's very thin and delicious. Now I'm going to show you, there was 2 options on this. So you just take the piece, you can see it's that big, about 1.5 inches. So there's so many Zoodle machines out there, spiralizers they're called, and really fun. So like I said, you can add these to stir fries. It could be a side dish, it could be in a soup. So many different ways. So kids love to get in the kitchen too and do this for you, moms. They'll make your Zoodles for you. So I want to show you what this looks just slightly different, not as thick as those. It was just a different setting. So a little bit thinner. Not much, but they are thinner versus this one. Oh, it's so long. There you go. I'm going to pull it in front of the camera. So one's just a little thinner, and this one's just a little thicker. It's just a fun kitchen tool to have. You can see again. Okay. So another way to increase the nutrition in our diet, have some fun dishes, help remove some of the carbohydrates from pasta by using our vegetables. So today I showed you the zucchini, and the spaghetti squash. I'll just put that aside. Okay, again, you can just stir fry some vegetables. You can do it any way you want and make a beautiful dish out of the zucchini. The last thing I wanted to add about pastas. So you might have noticed at the grocery store there's all types of pastas on the shelf, and some are healthier than others. So I brought in one that I saw, and this one is called the organic black bean spaghetti. So if you're going to do a spaghetti, you definitely want to have nutrition in it versus the regular pasta, right, that doesn't have any fiber or any nutrients. So this pasta is made from black soybean, so it's a very high in protein, which a typical pasta is not. Is usually just more of a carbohydrate source. So looking at this label, the serving size of the 2 ounce is 25 grams of protein. And that's the amount that you want in a typical meal in general. And it has 11 grams of dietary fiber. So that's quite a bit of fiber for one little serving of this pasta. And remember, women need about 28 grams of fiber per day, and men 38. So this is a good amount. And this is organic and gluten-free. So if you are on a particular diet that you need to eat gluten-free, this is a great option. So I just wanted to show you that there's different pastas out there. I've used some that are made with garbanzo beans as well, and those are great, and gluten-free as well if you need that in your diet. So, any questions? This was just a little demonstration showing you how to replace some of the carbohydrates from pastas and using our vegetables to have fun with our food and increase the nutrients in our diet by using these vegetables in place of pasta. And it's not to say that you can never have regular pasta, but I just wanted you to know that these sources are out there and super easy to make. You saw how I did the spaghetti, squash, and then these zoodles. And it's so nice and convenient now that they are already ready for you in the grocery store, already ready to go. If you don't have a spiralizer or you don't want to do this part, just get it ready made, make it easiest as possible for you to increase the vegetables in your diet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little demonstration, and we will be back next week with more YouTube topics. I do my food demonstration on Fridays at 2 o'clock, but on Tuesday at 2 o'clock, it will be a nutrition topic. And I hope to see you guys there. And again, if you have any questions on today's presentation, leave it in the comments and we'll get to those later. And I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Enjoy it. And hopefully it's filled with lots of vegetables. So have a great day and weekend, guys, and I will see you next week.